Migrants who came to the Netherlands, or also from Pakistan, for example, in Britain, they didn't witness modernity in their own society. They didn't know Casablanca, or Tanger, or Rabat. So in many ways, you see the same cultural clashes in Istanbul between the urban elites there and the middle classes and the migrants who come from Anatolia. Because there you see a clash between urban lifestyle and more rural traditions. But thirdly, the whole dimension of religion, I think that is really new in a sense that for Muslims, they should ask themselves the question, how can we practice our religion in a society where we are a minority, in a liberal society with freedom of religion, which is a question which asks a lot of questions that weren't asked in the countries of origin, where you have a majority culture. And the receiving societies, like in Switzerland now, is the vote on the minaret, or the ruling of the European Court saying you cannot say separation of state and church, and at the same time say it's an obligation to hang a crucifix in every public school. They should live up to the norms of religious freedom, and they are not doing that in many ways. So it's a learning process on both sides. Yeah. Muslims have to reinvent what it means to be a Muslim in a different society. And you are writing about it, we can talk about it, what sort of answers are given there. But the receiving societies cannot possibly claim, we should think about religious freedom if they're not willing to live up to the same norms. So if you start by reducing the religious freedom of the Muslim communities, and you see politicians in the Netherlands doing that, you see a majority in Switzerland doing that now, I think you lose every right to entertain this discussion. But it's a necessary discussion. It confronts all the Muslim populations. And I think there we have real differences on, for example, the cartoon affair revealed, a difference of opinion to the extent that you can criticize a religion openly. What is decent there? What are the limits of the freedom of expression?
Yeah. But one thing, Mr. Ramadan, what you mentioned, I read it somewhere, is saying if you are a Muslim as a minority in a society, you have to sort of try to at least behave to the laws of that country, of that society. But you also mentioned that you have to make a difference in those things that you can change and you can't change within Islam. The things you can change when you're in a society, you have to change. You have to try to adapt and take part in the society. And there's a part that can't be changed. Can you explain a little bit more the part that can't be changed? And saying, this is the heart of Muslim, and not only the religious part, but maybe, because that's of course interesting in the three fields you're mentioning, partly the three fields for some people don't exist anymore in the Netherlands. There is not a difference anymore between culture and religion. And the fact that there is, again, the three fields is one of the impacts of maybe migration. So can you explain a little bit more the religion and culture part that can't be changed knowing there are Muslim migrants in the Netherlands?
Okay, I will just come to your question. I want to react and come because just to bridge between you
bridge
and what
builder.
you are saying, at least in the discussion.
Okay.
The point is that, I think that it's very important to start with the differences and to have a healthy approach by saying, let us rely on facts and figures, much more than on perceptions. Perceptions are part of facts, in fact, because perceptions are creating something. But if you come to this, what is happening now in our societies and the European societies as such, or in the Netherlands, what you have is really, what you said is really important. The type of migrants that are coming are similar very often with Italian and Spanish who came, and they were facing exactly the same social problems when it comes to, geographical segregation. Now what is added is the religious dimension and the cultural dimension. So we have these two things. Now you have to also understand that for some people coming from Morocco, coming from Turkey, their perceptions with a very modest understanding of the religion, that the only way to be a good Muslim was to be a Muslim like we were in Turkey or in Morocco. Very often when we talked with them 20 years later, they still have the understanding of 20 years before, while in their countries of origin it has changed already. So they are less moving than the people living in Morocco and Turkey. So you can see, and this is a natural reaction. I stick to my principle